I joined the National Guard, and I'm going to tell you why. In September 2017, I joined the Texas Army National Guard, and frankly, I just want to tell you why. Sorry about the music in the background, and you also get to look at my pink walls. I'm back in my parents' house. That's what I get to deal with for the next 2 months. Super sorry. I've already talked about this. It's in like a really long 45-minute video that I've already posted. And I'm going to break it down because 45 minutes is frankly a really long, dumb time for a video. So I'm actually going to break down each piece of me enlisting. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. In February, I started losing weight. So by June, I had lost 30 pounds. So that put me at like 150, and for my height and weight, I have to be 156 because I'm 5'4" and I'm over the age of 21. So anyway, literally in June, I woke up one morning and was like, I want to join the military. So I got with my friend Kendra, who has been in the National Guard for 10 years. She left straight out of high school, went to Army Basic, and hasn't really looked back. She's in the Guard, so she has a civilian job, and so she does her once a month, and she loves it. So I woke up in June, and I was like, hey, Kendra, tell me about it. And she literally just was like, this is what all I like about it. And I was like, you know what? Sounds great. So here I am. So one con to what I did, because I literally signed up. I got with my recruiter and was like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. But I talked to Kendra, and she's in the Guard, and I didn't really look in the other branches. So if you're thinking about the military, look into the branches and see what you want. Like, make sure that you get what you want out of it. So I didn't look as hard into active Army as I probably should have. But I did choose the Guard, and right now I am totally okay with it. When I get out of basic and AIT, I could decide that I just like love the shit out of it, and I want to go active. I don't know if I was... Sorry, I got the low battery, so I don't know if like you caught that. But when I get out of basic and AIT, if I decide to go active, I totally can, and there is a way that you can transfer branches. So like if you wanted to go from Air Force to Army or whatever, you can do it. It's just a buttload of paperwork. And if you've done anything with the military at all, you already know that there's paperwork upon paperwork upon paperwork. So I could decide that I love the shit out of it and I want to go from Guard to active duty and just go full-blown active duty. So that is a possibility. Right now, I'm just going full Guard. And even as far as deployment goes, I have no problem being deployed. As of right now, I have full intentions of volunteering for it a lot. All of that is susceptible to change. I have not been through basic yet. So once I get through basic, I will tell y'all exactly what is going through my mind. What is going through my mind right now is I'm going to volunteer for deployment, but I want to live here right now. So it could all change. I could decide to go full active and then get deployed whenever and live wherever, and that's totally doable. Pain in the butt paperwork. So just keep that in mind. Being in the military limits you some, but also opens a million doors. So just open up those doors, experience life, because you're not supposed to just live in one spot. I mean, you can, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. I am destined to like, my purpose in life is to help others and do better and travel the world. So that's what I'm going for. So a little basis of the Guard instead of active is, and even reserves. I don't know a whole lot about the reserves, but I do know that they are different. In the Guard, unless you are deployed, they cannot work you during the week. They can work you on Saturday and Sunday. I think it's like midnight, Friday night, technically. But like Saturday and Sunday are all they can work you. 2 weeks a year, I think it's during the summer, you go to training. And then like twice a year, you do have to work on Friday, and that's for just like whatever purpose that serves. So that's kind of the basis of the Guard. I think in the reserves, don't quote me, but they can call you up on a Tuesday and say, hey, we need you at work Thursday, like take off work. And then obviously active, once you get out of like basic and your AIT, which is your military job school. Once you get out of that, then they ship you where they want you. So that could be overseas, Kansas, South Carolina, like wherever. They can send you wherever for however long that is. And then you get to come home like on the weekends. So I chose the Guard because I get to live where I want to live. Like at the end of the day, that is why I chose. In any branch of the Army, I don't really know how you like classify the Guard and the reserves, but in the Army you get to choose your MOS, which is basically your military job. So when you get out of basic, you do 10 weeks at basic. And that's another thing I'm going to say real quick. I'm in the Texas Army National Guard, so it's not like I go to basic for just Guard stuff. Like I am going to Fort Jackson, which is in South Carolina, in January, and I will be thrown in with active Army, Army Reserves, the whole shebang. Like I'm going to be a trained soldier at the end of this. So I'll go to that for 10 weeks, and then I'll go to my AIT school, and that is your military job school. Like that's where you're going to learn your military job that you got to pick. So, and I don't think I mentioned that. That's what I'm getting at. So in the Army, you get to pick your military job. So, well, and this is one benefit of the Army. If you find something cool and you're like, I want to do that, and you're like qualified for it, you have to take an ASVAB test. I'll talk about that later. So if you're qualified for this job, you can pick it, and then, so you go to school for it, this, that, and the other. Well, then, when you're active Army, you get shipped out, and you'll do your job when they ship you wherever they want you. In the Guard, you still get to pick. Like, they're not just going to be like, oh, you're good at this, you do this. Like, you get to pick what you want. You are limited to what you can pick, unless you're from, like, a big area. So, like, Marshall has a Marshall unit, like a New Boston unit, a couple of other surrounding areas, but nothing like real big. So I was limited to what those units offered as far as a job opening when I enlisted. So that's one thing that you're going to have to get with your recruiter about, and that is see what military jobs are available at the units near you. Because what you have to do is drive there once a month. So you don't want to pick a job in a town where you're going to have to drive like 8 hours one way. Like, you don't want to do that. So like I have, my unit is in my hometown, and that's cool and all. I did kind of do this so I could like travel a little bit, but it's fine. It leaves the doors open. Okay, my dogs. That leaves the opportunity for me to move, and then I get to come home and see my family once a month when I come to drill. So my friend Kendra, who's been in it for 10 years, she recently moved to Albuquerque for her civilian job because she's Guard, she's not active. And you can there's actually an active Guard that you can do, and that is where you work full-time Guard stuff. So like your recruiter, active Guard. So anyway, Kendra, she moved to Albuquerque for her civilian job, and she flies or drives home once a month, which is kind of sucks. But my point is, in the Guard, you have the option to live where you want to live as long as you can make it to drill once a month. But if you're just like, you know what, no, I don't want to live wherever you send me and then get to come home once a couple of months and like stay the weekend, like if that's not something you're interested in, then Guard, you get to live where you want to live. I'm gonna touch back on your work schedule. So unless you're deployed, and sometimes they'll just be like, hey, you're going, we're sending you out. So that's one way of deployment. There's another one that you can volunteer for it. You can say, hey, I want to be deployed the next, like I can say to whoever, that was my dog. I guess it's whoever, I don't know, I haven't done this yet, so like I'm still speaking from experience, but you can say to whoever's in charge of you, like, hey, I see your foot, the next 25 Bravo that needs to be sent out, send me, I'm ready. I think that's basically how it'll work. I'm sure it's a lot more in depth, but basically, like, you can volunteer for deployment, and clearly you're gonna work more than on the weekend. So like, for example, Hurricane Harvey, and I'm actually gonna talk about this again. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I want to, like, break this up or not. So, like, Hurricane Harvey. Pretty much everyone who's in the Texas National Guard got sent down to the Houston, Beaumont area to help out. And so, like, so pretty much everyone got deployed, and you got paid, and you worked pretty much full time. Thing is, you can't be fired from your job for being in the military. So just remember that if someone like throws it at you like, oh, well, you didn't work Thursday. So no, like it is illegal for them to fire you for being in the military. Now, if you get fired, like that's on your own and whatever, but like they cannot fire you for being in the military. So you get deployed for a natural disaster, then they're going to have to get over it. So anyway, so you get deployed, you can volunteer for deployment. Other than that, you work Saturday and Sunday once a month, 2 weeks for training, and like I think twice a year they'll work you Friday, Saturday. Go back to the Hurricane Harvey stuff. Not only in the National Guard, whatever, in the Guard, not only are you doing soldier stuff, because you are a trained soldier, like I said, not only are you doing soldier stuff, I'm using this loosely, but like war stuff, because it's the best like visualizer that I'm sure that y'all are gonna understand what I'm saying when I say war stuff. So like when you think of a soldier, what do you think that they're doing? Like that's what I'm talking about. So you're doing that because you are a trained soldier. But also when a natural disaster strikes, i.e. Hurricane Harvey, the National Guard steps in to help with that. So I think that's really cool that not only are you doing war stuff, but you're also helping your community. And that, I think that that's one of the more honorable parts of the whole thing, is it's not just working one weekend and being lazy the rest of the time. You should stay in shape. Like, even though you got out of basic, and I think the Guard is a little bit more lenient when it comes to like PT tests than like active Army. Obviously, you should stay in shape. Like, you're still in the military. You don't want to be that fat guy over there that you're like, how is that even a thing? But I think it's really cool that we help our community instead of just the war stuff. So I think it's cool, and it's not even like a hurricane. Like, I don't know. Never mind. I'm trying to think of other like natural disasters real quick that could happen in East Texas. But my point is, you help your community, you stay close to home, so in case there's ever some kind of disaster, you're there. You're there to help. You're available. I'm gonna actually steal this from another YouTube blogger, Sweets Galore. She's really cool. She went from reserve to the Army, like active Army. And she vlogs a lot, so she's very informative. She makes really cute videos. I'm gonna steal this a little bit from her. She said to remember why you joined. So obviously in the military you get a lot of benefits. You get school benefits. They like pay. I don't know all. I don't have any student loans, so I don't know like exactly how this works. But they take care of your student loans. To a T, maybe. I don't know. I'm 22, and I've been out of school for 5 years, and I am 3 classes away from an associate's in general studies. Like, I really needed to do something with my life, because being a receptionist in a flooring store just ain't cutting it. So you get benefits for school, you get insurance. So if you only joined because of benefits, like, that's fine. Just to remember, like, when the going gets tough and it sucks and you're like, why did I do this? Remember, hey, this is going to pay for my school in the long run. This is going to pay for my health insurance. Like, that's fine. I wanted to better myself. I am from a small town, and I'm clearly not going anywhere in life. Or I wasn't, now I am. I want to be a part of something bigger than Marshall, and I feel like joining the military says, hey, like, you're going to go places, you're going to do good things. And so that is why I personally joined. I want to be better and bigger than what this dumb little town has to offer. Like, and I say that considering I'm in the Guard and I still live here. But, like, honestly, I want to be a part of something bigger than what Marshall will ever have to offer me. So yeah, remember what you're going for. Remember why you signed, because that is what's going to keep you pushing forward when things do get hard. So if you decide that you're tired of your town, not even tired of your town, but you want more, and you're fine living away from home, wherever, forever, how long, go for it. Go for another branch. If you want to better yourself, look into the military, because it's going to make you a stronger, a more respectable person in the long run. If you want to serve your country and have the honor of saying that you're in the military, but you do want to live at home, you still want to have like a pretty normal civilian life, but you want to, like you said, you want to serve, look into the Guard, look into the Reserve, look into any of the branches, not just the Army National Guard. I'm probably supposed to be like, go Army National Guard. I am 23 years old. Like, I think I said I was 22 earlier. I just turned 23 like 4 days ago, so it's still new. I wish at 17 and 18 years old that I realized the opportunities that this would have opened for me. Because I kind of feel like I wasted 5 years of my life just bumming off. Like I said, I've been to school. I have 46 credit hours, which is good. It, like, promotes you when you enlist. But I have nothing to show for being out of school for 5 years. Like, I'm finally starting my life. And that is what makes me excited. That's what makes me proud. Like, literally, this is a little TMI, but when it finally occurred to me that this is what I was supposed to do, like, I can feel it in my bones that I'm finally stepping in the right direction. I was literally just kind of going through life. I'm finally stepping in the right direction, and I can feel it in my bones. Like, the whole 2 months that it took me to, like, get paper signed and get to MEPS, like, making the decision, because it's not something that you do rash, and I kind of did it rash, but it was still a process for me to enlist. It, like, tore my stomach up, and not, like, in a bad way, but, like, just, like, those nerves that sit in your stomach. I literally was like that for 2 straight months, and it kind of goes with, like, one of my favorite sayings when you're making life decisions. If it doesn't scare the shit out of you, it's not worth it. So make sure what you're doing with your life excites you. Like, don't just go with the flow and just ride it out. Like, find something that you're passionate about. Find something that's going to make you a better person, and then run with it. So if that's not the military, like, that's fine. But be sure that you find something that's going to benefit you in the long run. Something that's going to excite you. And if that means getting you a sugar daddy, like, go for it. Just make sure that you love it. I'm absolutely going to end there, because I don't know how I can top finding a sugar daddy because you love it. So I really think that's all I've got. If there's something else, I'll just throw it in with my enlistment process. I'll make another video soon about, like, meeting up with my recruiter and all the paperwork and stuff. So if I forgot something, I'll throw it in there. Bye, guys! Are y'all done? No, they're not done.